Who the hell does he think he is? Breaking all the rules. Why, this guy's so far out of the box, he could be an alien. Oh, that's scary. Is he an alien? Is he a real wizard?
Yeah.
Of course he is, and this is the Harvey Wizard Show. So put your hands together for the 65-year-old badass himself, Harvey Wizard! Thank you, and welcome to the Harvey Wizard Show. Today's podcast is how ChatGPT helped neutralize a gnarly neighbor, and still the little guy got fucked. So here's the story. I live here in Costa Rica, not near the shore. It's a town called Gracia. We have our house on a plot of land in sort of a cul-de-sac street. And there's been a relatively small empty lot next to us since we built this house 8 years ago. And I guess about a year ago, we saw people looking at the land and we heard that they were going to build an apartment there. And we were wondering what they could do because it's such a small piece of land. Then construction begins, and I notice that one side of the building, the one closest to our house, has only got about 2 inches clearance from the fence on the side of our property. What's also relevant is that the one big splurge we did when we built this house, because here in Costa Rica, we were able to get a beautiful 2,000 square foot custom built house on a plot of land with a little extra space around it for a total of $140,000. And we splurged and put in this massive garden for 10 grand, which means we have a lot of now mature, beautiful plants right up against that fence. And we're thinking, how are they going to build the side of the building that's now within 2 inches of our fence? No one, meanwhile, has asked us anything, has asked for permission. And then suddenly the builder comes over and says, tomorrow, can we come over to your side of the fence and we're going to set up our scaffolding and such? And that's when I started chatting with ChatGPT, because on one hand, I know that you're not allowed to unreasonably deny someone access to your property. And at the same time, it's a situation where they didn't ask in advance when they decided to build 2 inches to the wall, and they, just started constructing. And now after the fact, they want to have, they want to have this access. So explaining the situation to ChatGPT, and of course it can figure out the property rules right here in Gracia, gave me a great plan, which began by telling the builder, in response to his question, no, you'll have to have the owner speak to me. And then eventually, 2 weeks later, I get a what's up from, I think it's the sister of the woman who owns the building, gently asking me, now trying to be polite, asking if they can have this access. And that's when ChatGPT gave me the whole proposal, because here's the idea. There's no way for them to have accessed the building, put scaffolding up, finish the side of their building without crushing at least some of our plants. It's just kind of physically impossible. You need something that's going to get up close to the side there. You got to anchor it in the ground, and the ground is all our beautiful plants. So with the help of ChatGPT, we work out this. If you want to come do this, here's the reasonable thing you're going to have to do. First, you're going to have to pay for my consultant, which is the gardener that put this garden in, which is a very special garden. It's nicer, it's kind of a high-end garden for Costa Rica. Most people don't have one. And it only costs us $100 to keep it. So it's a luxury just to put in, but it's been gorgeous ever since. And that's why we don't want somebody to come and destroy it. So they would have to first figure out, well, what is the value if you do destroy it? Because now it's not putting in the baby plants that we pay for initially. Now it's mature plants, which are much harder to get and much more valuable, much more expensive before you come over and and wreck them. So they would have to first do that, then they would have to pay for a lawyer to put the agreement together, put that amount into escrow, then they come and do the work, and then they have to pay for the expert to come back to either calculate the damage uh, or to verify that the plants are unharmed. So I put all of that together, and I was feeling like I can make justice happen. They should have done this the first time. Now it's going to be more costly. They're going to have to stop construction, and they're going to have to do what's right. Okay, that's the whole point. I got ChatGPT to neutralize this neighbor. Now I'm in control. And then what happens? The next day, I get an email or what's up from the owner that I've been speaking with saying, thanks so much, but we won't be needing your side of the property. And I'm like, how are they doing that? And then I figured out how they were doing it. They got their builders to sort of hang off of rails which looked to me precipitously perched onto the side of the building. And these guys are hanging off, and this is for a day and a half, and they're cursing, which I know because I don't know every Tico slang here in Costa Rica, but my wife does. And so these guys were very unhappy. As it looked to me, they're risking their lives to be able to put up the side of the building, kind of hanging from the roof, all kinds of crazy things. And I'm thinking, one of these guys are going to die, and even if I'm not responsible, I'm going to feel responsible, right? I could not make this woman who owns the building do the right thing. And so now every time I walk by the house next door and I see the workers, I have trouble looking them in the eye, because how can I explain this? All they know is I did something that gave them a really crappy couple of days of work. There's no way it doesn't make sense to initiate a conversation with them and say, I'm really sorry, but it's your boss who did this, who decided to risk your life rather than do the right thing. So that tells us two things. Number one, try ChatGPT if you have a gnarly problem with a neighbor, and to realize even if you do everything right, sometimes the little guy is still gonna get fucked. If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with anyone who would like to see the ugly truth, and keep an eye out for the next episode, because we're not backing down, and neither should you. Yeah. This is Harvey Wizard signing off from Costa Rica, your untouchable guide to seeing the truth no one else will tell you.